Good morning, Michelle, and good morning, Kali. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you sound great. Good morning.
Good morning. Great. Thank you so much. And happy International Women's Day to all of you and all the women on the phone. It's indeed a special day for us women around the globe as we celebrate our tremendous accomplishment. When you think about it, this is a field that was once dominated by men and is shifting very fast as women every day are playing a key role in this life-changing experience with data science and technology. And the video we just started with couldn't have said it any better. So thank you so much for having me be part of the conference today. So as Kali introduced me, I'm Nelly Akoth. I'm the global finance practice leader for IBM. I've just a little bit about myself and what I do. Been with IBM for a number of years, mostly within the technology area, finance area. And this conference truly brought home and helped me really reflect on just how much technology has changed and how it has transformed our lives. I am an executive sponsor of a number of diversity and inclusion initiatives, particularly around advancing women. So at the beginning of 2020, I was supercharged and in high gear sponsoring and planning a women's symposium. The symposium was planned to be held in Madrid, and the time we were looking at for it was in May. And so together with my planning team, we were all really charged up, had a great agenda, and lined up some really great speakers. And if you've ever planned an event, I think Michelle shared this earlier, she kicked it off. If you ever planned an event, you know that with every day that passes, your excitement level elevates. So picture this, sometime towards the end of January, beginning of February, our unit HR leader, who, by the way, was the only man in the planning team, walks into my office and says, you know what, Nell? I don't think Madrid is going to happen. He goes to say that COVID was serious and it is going to shut us down. Now, I looked at him and truly thought he had lost his head. And my response back to him was, well, you know what? The symposium is in May. By then, things will have improved. I truly had faith and I was determined to hold the symposium. Now, I want to say also that at the time, there was not much news on Corona. It was more like a one-liner in the news. It was more as like a by the way. So clearly, I remember telling him that whatever he was trying to tell me meant that the whole world would come to a grinding halt. And honestly, at the end of January, beginning of February, that sounded so remote. Well, we all know how that situation ended up. Just about a month and a half later, one thing that none of us ever imagined would happen in our lifetime really happened. The world came to a grinding halt, a total standstill. Each and every one of us around the globe had to adjust. Technology became that means that heavily supported all of us, one way or another, in managing the adjustment. So let's just pause for a minute and think about what happened. Reflect on a minute on 2020. So as I go into the next page, let's just visualize what was going on through all this technology. It was vast amounts of data was being generated every minute of the day. And all this was new data. This graphic, as I looked at it, blew my mind. And just kind of staring at some of them, amounts of meals that were ordered through DoorDash in a minute. I personally was borderline addict of Netflix, contributing to the 400,000 plus streams a minute. Now, while all this is going on, my 80-year-old spent a lot of time convincing me that TikTok is the best thing that ever happened since sliced bread. And I can guess that almost every one of us on this call was a part of Zoom. Think about it. Over 200,000 meetings hosted every minute via Zoom. If you just take all these stats and multiply this by the 1,440 minutes in a day, you take a step back and say, wow, that's loads and loads of data. So as I move on to the next page, I know that I'm going to be preaching to the choir when I quote these numbers. But the reality is that data has surpassed oil as the most valuable resource today. If I just touch on just some of the points of this page, 80 to 90% of the data being generated today is unstructured, and 90% of the organizations cite that unstructured data to be one of their biggest concerns. So increasingly, we are seeing companies investing in technologies such as AI to help manage the data. In today's world, and I think we are all just, really as consumers, we want to have the same sublime experience when dealing with a brand, regardless of the device that you are using. Your expectation of quality is high. So as I move on to that next page, I want to draw home one more time just the path of data and technology together and how it was key in the pandemic as it became a means of how to help contain the spread of the virus, how to track critical activity, and also how to help everyone adjust accordingly. Converging technologies like your mobile, cloud, robotics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, all of this together allowed us to test several innovative approaches in dealing with the pandemic. Clear messaging to the people around the world was really critical as we were all grappling with this. Having that right information, ensuring that you were informed, truly helped all of us live through it. And if I just kind of cite a couple examples, Sixfold published a free live map of border crossing times. And this was for the trucks to enable all of Europe's supply chains understand expected delays in receiving their shipments. Another example, Taiwan's CDC, the Central Epidemic Command Center, is combining health data with travel data. And with this, building a monitoring system and providing real-time alerts. Again, really critical information as we go through the pandemic. Baidu, a Chinese multinational technology company, has built AI solutions to effectively screen large populations and detect a change in their body temperature while they're on the move. Now, as the going says, knowledge is power. Big data analytics helped in quickly identifying infected individuals, connecting with them, tracking who they have come in contact with, and so on. Again, just think about what we all had to deal with as a globe. Data was the essence of how we were able to adjust our lives and live every day through the pandemic. So as I move on to the next page, when you sum all this together, it's all about what are we getting from the data? What is it that the data is telling us? Technology today is as important as the data that is being generated. Leveraging the right technologies to collect, interpret, and communicate is critical for us to realize the true benefit of the data. And I want to share how I truly came to appreciate the power of data and AI. It was back in 2011 at a function where our company was showcasing Watson after it won Jeopardy. I sat at a table with some really smart research team members, and through the conversation, I asked one of them to help me understand the science behind AI. And I went on to tell him that, please lay it out for me like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old. Let's use lingo that my simple brain is going to understand. And he did such a great job at it. And this is how he did it. He explained to me using work that was going on around cancer research. He told me that And I'm going to oversimplify this. So just for the audience, for the sake of the conversation, I'm going to really oversimplify it. He told me that think about cancer. Cancer is about cells that are replicating. So if we are able to collect all the data related to the cells, apply AI, AI will be able to help us identify those cells that are replicating. And then with that knowledge, we can come up with ways of reversing the replicating cell. He even continued to explain to me that typically when our cancer patients are going through radiation, radiation is done in an area. And in that area that the radiation is going through is where the bad cells are. But it also tends to touch on good cells as well. So his explanation to me was when you think about if we're able to now isolate and only work on those bad cells while saving the rest, that was life-changing. This really hit home for me because just 6 months before this function, before I got this explanation, I had accompanied my best friend who was battling breast cancer to the hospital for radiation treatment. So my reaction of choking up surprised him. And I had to explain to him what a glimmer of hope that meant for me. AI was the door, the big door of hope that was going to change lives. The right match of data and technology allows us to gather insights, create new experiences, and transform lives of people. And this to me is across the board and one that all of us continue to experience. So I would be remiss as I go into the next page if I did not spend a few minutes to really talk about how my organization, IBM, approaches data and technology. For what I do today, we target a set of pre-existing workflows that are available within our client's environment, and then look to redefine the way they operate with some pre-integrated solutions. And what does that mean? So let me break it down a little bit. A workflow is a simple words, in simple words, is a sequence of tasks that process a set of data. Workflows occur across every kind of business and industry. So anytime data is passed between humans and or systems, a workflow is created. And workflows are paths that describe how something goes from being undone to being done, or from a raw to processed. So IBM infuses technologies like machine learning, natural language processing, automation, analytics, to name a few, to make them intelligent, to make them streamlined, efficient, and user-friendly. And IBM implements its intelligent workflows in organizations to help them deliver exceptional outcomes and create differentiation. And this differentiation is experience, different experience for the users, transforming lives, if you ask me. On the next page, IBM's intelligent workflows create a variety of areas in a client's organization. And this is ranging from, just to kind of touch on a couple of this, on how talent is hired into an organization, or how they are managed and developed to day-to-day business operations like supply chain or even asset management. So intelligent workflows allow us or help us work with organizations to craft their business strategies by providing them insights. And while doing that, with the insights of their customer lifecycle or even financial planning management, helping that experience of the end-to-end truly be not only seamless, but change experience. In its entirety, intelligent workflows allow organizations to experience that end-to-end view of how work gets done, and then transforms the experiences of their employees and clients alike. So I want to go into the next session by sharing an example of IBM using intelligent workflows and Watson's, how it all came true to impact businesses, impact lives, and then impact society. And as I do that, I'm going to make an assumption that we all at some point have had food as a food at a fast food restaurant. Golden State Foods is an American food service company that manufactures supplies and delivers food to restaurants such as McDonald's, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, all my favorite fast foods here. Now, as consumers, we tend to all demand and expect freshness, and this company promises to always provide fresh food to its consumers. So that way, they are able to deliver on their promise of freshness. And all this was embedded in data and technology. So delivering freshness of food through the distribution chains requires visibility, traceability, and integration. With our blockchain, IBM blockchain, and IoT, and intelligent workflow capability, we were able to ensure for this company that the meat was kept at the required temperatures throughout the food chain. At every step of the way, there was visibility of where the trucks are, what were the temperatures for each of those trucks, and there was very clear transparency throughout the cycle that helped on delivering fresh meat to a delicious hamburger that you would enjoy from wherever you are enjoying it. Again, just using COVID, which is such a timely example, and overlaying it in the traceability. The vaccines is one that we all can relate to right now that have to be kept at a certain temperature. So maintaining those temperatures is what allows this vaccine to be effective. So it means and translates to, as they're being transported, the visibility, the ability to have traceability, the transparency through the cycle is truly crucial to help deliver the vaccines at the locations in the right time and ensure effectiveness. So again, tracking all this data, when you think about it, provides insights. And it's from these insights that we are ensuring great experiences. And this can be related to, again, a number of things that we all experience every day. My next example is going to be a video. Now, for some of us in the cold region, we are truly looking forward to warm weather. And that too comes with some challenges of allergies impact. Now, if you were just to take a moment, how can data and AI make this a better experience for our allergy sufferers? Let's take a look at the video.
Nice days can come with a hidden cost. Allergies. Pollen, dust, and dander aren't always easy to see. But for seasonal allergy sufferers, they make their presence known. It's weather that holds the key to preparing for allergy season. Weather and allergies have always had a powerful connection. Trees produce pollen when it's warm. Wind kicks the pollen up. Rain and humidity bring it down. But there's so much more to it. How hard does it rain? How quickly does the temperature change? What types of plants grow in your neighborhood? These factors all add up to some complicated math. So we've developed Allergy Insights with Watson, a kind of risk prediction system for allergies. It uses IBM Watson machine learning to find hidden correlations between the world's most accurate weather data and hundreds of millions of allergy cases reported nationwide. Watson then uses these learnings to create hyper-local forecasts down to the zip code, predicting your risk of allergies up to 15 days before they hit. It's not just predictive modeling. It's a chance for anyone with allergies to stay informed and enjoy nice days for what they are. In other words, allergies eat our dust.
The AI market, and I was reading some data points, that artificial intelligence market will grow to 190 billion industry by 2025. Just think about that. Now, AI, machine learning, automation is also estimated to create about 9% of US jobs by 2025. And these are jobs in the areas of, robot monitoring professionals, if you will, automation specialists, and the biggest number, data scientists. So today's event is a lineup of great speakers, as Kali took us through, rich topics and truly all around data science. The more the data, the more the insights, the better the experiences. We will hear from women leaders that are rocking the field by providing insights and driving, again, new and better experiences. And all that is transforming lives. I'll end with, as the saying goes, when you educate a woman, you educate a nation. So as we celebrate our special day today, know that you, in whatever area you are in, are playing a key role in transforming lives. So as we learn today, I am looking forward to the day and some of the great topics that we have laid out and the sessions. And the one thing that keeps coming back to me is all that we are doing is improving experiences, transforming lives. Once again, thank you and happy International Women's Day. Hi, one of the things I didn't mention as I was wrapping up is I'll be more than glad to take questions throughout the day. We can always get back to the team as the questions come in. So again, thanks for the opportunity.
Awesome. I see some questions rolling in. There's one that is, Nell, what are your thoughts on the ethics element of using AI to monitor humans, like the examples of Taiwan CDC and Baidu's body temperature monitoring?
Can you repeat the question again? What am I?
Yeah, definitely. So what are your thoughts on the ethics element of using AI to monitor humans? For example, like the Taiwan CDC and Baidu's body temperature monitoring.
My thoughts honestly are if the data is being used in the right format, like in this case for informing individuals of things that are critical and could be of impact to their lives, I'd say that it helps the community. Now, I also do recognize that there is the aspect of privacy, which we are all entitled to. My thinking around it also with the data being gathered, especially for the CDC, I believe it was data where the teams, the people who are participating in providing this data were doing it on their own. It wasn't, I don't think it was one where they were taking without the patient's or the individual's knowledge. So as long as the individuals are willing and happy to share the data, I think the more we have, we feel informed, it's helpful. It does help the broader good. It brings broader good to the community.
Awesome. And I have another question too. If you could use data science and do an experiment on your own right now, what type of problem would you try to solve?
Oh my goodness, I'd try to solve world peace. Let me put it that way. No. That's a great question. I think one of the things that I love seeing is just how young minds, and young minds for me is I'm looking at young children who are every day, they are informing us of different things. It's one area that I'll think of what are some other different techniques we can use in the school area to help kids learn more. I think that the more we are able to use different techniques, apply technology, and engage the students or the kids in different ways, the more we can build a more really strong nation. So for me, the experiment that I would do is on how to bring in different techniques of learning for the young and upcoming leaders of the future.
That's awesome. I hope one day to have something like that.
Yeah.
And so another thing is, oh, there's another question that just rolled in too. Someone is in grad school pursuing data analytics, and they just mentioned that they can't be happier to meet another Kenyan in this space. So that's really awesome. Do you want to talk about your background of when you went to Africa with IBM? Because I remember you told Michelle and I, and that was really interesting.
Oh, yeah. I grew up in IBM finance and, lived through the different areas of the business, learned a lot, and had an opportunity to expand my wings by going into different regions. So Africa was one of the regions that at the time, timing is key in life. At the time, our company was expanding and growing our footprint in Africa. We were opening almost 27 countries overnight, as I've always said that and in a nutshell. So I had a really unique opportunity to grow with IBM in Africa. Played a key role in establishing our presence, and we were expanding with some of our clients. So being able to truly be part of that journey as the client was expanding, it was a really tremendous and enriching experience. So if I was to ever, mentor anybody on being able to expand your wings, try it in areas that you're not comfortable with, because this was one really big job for me. And at that time, I felt like I was really stepping into shoes that would never fit. But the experience out of it was priceless.
That's awesome. I hope one day to be able to work internationally and see all of that. I just feel like the experiences are really incredible.
It is rewarding. It's truly rewarding. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for all of your time today. We really appreciate it. And that your talk was incredible. We really loved hearing about your personal experience and how critical technology is, especially in our new COVID era where we really have to apply it and do rapid changes to technology. That every minute of the day 2020 image is really fascinating. I know that I definitely contributed a lot to the Netflix and DoorDash numbers. So that was great to see. And there's actually one more question that I want to ask before I switch on to the next panel. So aside from getting more women interested in data science, what additional steps would you recommend to improve and increase the healthcare research that has yet to be done on women's health and the health of understudied populations to increase their quality of life?
All right, so you're going to repeat the question for me because I missed the piece.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit of a long question.
Yeah.
So aside from getting more women interested in data science, what steps would you recommend to improve and increase the healthcare research that has yet to be done on underserved populations and women's health?
Honestly, research for me is all around getting the right allocation of resources. So it would be if I had the opportunity to put my voice on how resources are allocated for research, I would definitely weigh more on making more funds available, opportunities available to do research within healthcare, and especially in underserved communities. Because today, every research has a bucket of funding to get that done. And people like ourselves who are here in this conference, who truly believe in it, would also play a key role in our level of participation, whether it's in contribution or being a part of it. I think we as a society would help bring that to light a whole lot more as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate all this, Nelly. And I'll send you over any additional questions that come throughout the chat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I look forward to the great day. Take care.
Thank you.